Anyway, Sora is the app for Overdrive, and there's different ways that you can log in. We use Clever in our district, so you can log in with Clever. There's an app that you can download and actually from the librarian get their username and password. So it's ebooks and audiobooks. So you check out ebooks and audiobooks for 2 weeks. You can download them anywhere, anytime, so you have access to them. And there's ways that we'll talk about in just a little bit where you can connect different library accounts. So if you have a public library account and your school account, you can connect those. All right. So our session today is going to be actually 2 parts. I'm going to talk about promotion in the library, and then Michelle is going to talk about how to do accessibility things for your students. So I am Chantel.
And I'm Michelle.
So I'm one of 2 librarians at our high school. We have a big high school, and so we have a Bullard library. Michelle is my boss, basically.
No, let's clarify boss. I'm an advocate. I have no pay. I don't pay her. I annoy her, but I don't pay her.
She's over all the librarians in our district.
Yeah,
so she's our digital media specialist.
Just
we've been good friends for a long time. She actually started out as my educational technology specialist, and she got me into technology.
And doing all the things that she's uncomfortable doing.
Like this. Sora, for your library. You use what you can. We have a Twitter account at my high school, but we don't have a whole lot of followers, so we kind of just stopped posting the things. We use Instagram a lot. I personally have a TikTok account that I follow, but I'm not brave enough to do TikTok. And we don't have a Facebook or a Snapchat. So,
but you guys have to know where your kids are. So do what you can.
So if you're not familiar, Overdrive has a resource center, and there's things that are downloadable, ready for you to go. There are some things that I'll show you where you can go in and edit it for your own school. But these were 2 things that all I had to do was download it and can share it into our Instagram account just as it is right there.
Yeah, it makes it really easy. And I just like to plug Sora's 24/7. So like even when she's closed, it's not. And so that's really appealing to our students because they can get on and get any book that we've made available. So
Canva, how many of you have Canva?
Or have attended a session on Canva?
If you're not using it, it's wonderful. It's easy to use. Yes. So you have to go in and ask for that because you have access to more things with the educator account.
Yeah. So always use your work account. Don't and go through the educator.
But you have to request, and then you have to wait for them to send it back. But it shouldn't. I think they ask for like a picture of your ID or something to prove that you really are an educator.
But you get a lot of stuff. So it's good.
So these are 2 things that were in the Sora marketing kit that I just went in and edited myself. Were you going to flip over? So there's all kinds of, there's social things that you can go in here and you can just go in and edit it, and it takes it right into Sora, and then you can go in and change out the graphics. So I was just able to, some of those books are books that we're actually using in our, February's tomorrow, so Black History Month, and books that you're using for your book club.
So the Sora marketing kit, it's just, if you literally Google it, it'll get you right into the marketing and outreach. So she basically.
But I think you're saying marketplace where you buy the things. No, it's not there.
No.
It's 2 totally different things. Yes.
Yeah.
So you want just take it back, Michelle.
Okay.
So anyway, I just downloaded these into Sora and then found the graphics and then just uploaded it.
Well, and the nice thing too, because I can't not talk, she's going to make fun of me about this.
It always happens.
Is that when you're in Canva in your educator account, if you download these from Sora and you tweak them in Canva, you can actually schedule them to go to your social media from Canva on their calendar. So like, like you don't have time, so you're going to do a whole bunch on one day and plan it out. They have a calendar, you can actually plan it on there, and it helps. She's like, no,
because we've talked about this at our meeting. You can do it for Twitter, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't work for all of them.
Instagram.
That's right.
No.
because you got to have a
But
business.
you can use these to promote. You can use them as shelf talkers or just make flyers or posters to hang up. They also have, this was actually in the same spot, but this is a Word document. So it was a book suggestion form. So I could do the picture and then the title and all of this. I just personally typed in, and then you can download it and just print it. So you can also do Word instead of just Canva. So 3 times a year, how many of you are familiar with Big Library Read? Okay.
No.
So 3 times a year. So in April, July, and November, they have for 2 weeks what they call a Big Library Read, and they pick the book, and it's a simultaneous download. So it automatically appears in your account. You don't have to go in and look for it. And last year we did 5 Total Strangers, and we did it as a teacher book club as well as so we have 2 libraries. The other librarian does writing book club. I do book club. And so my kids did this. And so everybody was able to read it at one time, where most of the time it's a 1-to-1. So you have to wait for 2 weeks to get a book. So that was the nice thing. This was the book for this year in November, and November happens to be Native American Heritage Month. And so this was a good one to do there.
If you guys own Sora or have purchased it, then you guys can pick books, because we've had in our ELA group, when they do like they did Bruiser for a whole, 7th grade was all reading the same book. They actually could go in and purchase so many accounts, like a classroom set essentially. So they could all use, because we're 1-to-1, so they could use their devices to all be
But
in the
these
book.
are free.
Those are the free ones.
This
is paid, but yes, that's free.
So I am a social media junkie. I borrow ideas from lots of different places. I really like Twitter, and I discovered Melissa Corey, who is a librarian out of Missouri, and she had posted about having these catalog displays. So I just ordered this off of Amazon, and she has, I had it written down, visual. I've got it written down in my backpack, but she has it to where you can go in and get all of these different formats and download it into Canva. And then you can go in and change the books. So I did one for ebooks and audiobooks in Sora, but I've got Texas authors. I did one this month for Black History Month. This is the top 10 books checked out last year. So anyway.
And she repurposed that thing that used to be on every secretary's desk with everybody's phone numbers.
I bought one.
Well, she bought one.
People,
but there's a lot of people that don't have them anymore, and they're getting rid of them. Like, it's a good thing to use. Like, because she had that in the library, we actually had ELA teachers ask her for those documents, because he was like, oh, I can put those in my room, like that, that have the books and the titles.
I've made all of these and put them into my Office 365 so that I can share it. But look, I'm going to look right now so I can tell you it's visual book something
from Melissa Corey.
Yeah, but if you just go follow her, they're all right there, and she uploads new ones all the time. But hang on. She's on Twitter. Yes. Visualbooklist.com. And right now she's got 19 different lists. So you can just go in and change it. Or if you don't like the ideas, you can at least, take the graphics and kind of change it, make it your own. But borrow, steal, give credit where credit is due, though. But
it's a borrow mentality, people. We're in education. Don't have any money.
So book club. So right now, my students, I've got about 10 kids in my book club. We meet in the morning before school twice a week. We're reading Spin. And so I am listening to it because I listen and read, and I walk and cook and drive. And so it's easier for me to listen. So this is the book that we're doing. And so I don't have to worry about if I've got enough books. So limited number of books. Can you flip 2 slides?
You want 2 slides? Okay.
Yes, we'll come back to that one.
That one.
So I don't know how many of you have a public library card, but some public libraries have Overdrive. Our personal public library in our hometown does not, but next door is another town, and they have the Houston area digital media. And so I can connect both of my books, both of my accounts to the one account. And so when I'm looking for a book, if maybe our school district doesn't have it, maybe they have it. And so it gives you more options to get. So you can see right here. So here's we're in Pearland ISD, and then this is the Houston. How many of you are familiar with Audio Book Sync? So it's mainly geared toward high school, but during this, well, actually it starts in April and goes through about August. They do 2 books every week that you can download, and it'll show up so it shows up as one of my libraries in my account. And so as long as you download it, you've got that book forever. If the week goes up and you haven't downloaded it, then you don't have a chance to go back and get it.
We try to encourage the students, well, particularly high school. I know there's a lot of other stuff with younger grades and stuff, but if there's a book that we don't buy through Sora, but we know that it can be found through Sora with a larger library that's public, we try to encourage the kids, they can do that if they want.
So other thing is meet with the other departments. So our CNI people don't necessarily maybe get around to get to meet with them that often, or even your ELA people on your campus. You can meet with them and talk about Sora, or you can do all of these different things. So here's a flyer. This is a diverse reading challenge that you can go in and actually edit what books are there. You can earn badges. Like me personally, I've got like 11 badges that I've already earned. You can go in and edit bookmarks that you can print out and give to your teachers to promote it, or even have in your little bookmark caddy that's in your classroom. Go on over there and do yours.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about accessibility features, and I'm going to stand right here because I realized I didn't log into Sora. So you got to log into Sora.
Okay.
So one of the selling points about Sora is that how many of you have one-to-one districts, or at least your kids have some type of mobile device on them most of the time? It allows you to address all learners in the fact that it has all these accessibility tools. A lot of our kids, she's so cute. She's just sad. She doesn't want to read because it's difficult. And a lot of kids feel like, I don't want to do it, especially on a computer, because some of them really can't handle the computer, right? There's too much on the computer. I can't see. And if they have any type of visual impairment or overstimulation, they need to be able to address that. So one of the things Sora does is it addresses dyslexic font and high contrast. So the kids can control what it looks like for them. So it enables them to be able to adjust the font and the color. And it just makes it easier for the person to actually use the ebook, or of course, if it's an audiobook. But this mainly is for the ebooks. So from going from her sad self, now she's going to be happy because she can actually do dyslexic font.
Do you want me to tell me when you want me to log in?
So I just took a screenshot. Probably in just a second, I'll have her log into an account, but I guess I can move over here. She's so happy. Oh, there must be a speaker right here. Oh, nope, that does not like me. I'm going to stay over here. All right. So what happens is this is what the settings are going to look like if you're in Sora. How many of y'all have Sora at your school? Or okay. So a lot of people have it. A lot of people don't go into it. They just borrow, read, next book, right? Well, if you go into your settings, you actually have the ability to turn on dyslexic font or high contrast mode and change the language depending on the ebook. Some ebooks actually have different, they come in different languages. So like our dual language campuses really like the fact that they can change it from English to Spanish. Now that's not every title. So if you're librarian or your CNI person that's purchasing Sora, you need to kind of look at what they're purchasing because you may want it for a specific reason. But if you go into this in your main settings, you actually are going to change it every time. So that means if Sally here needs it to be on the dyslexic font and she wants it in the dark mode, if she puts it under her general settings, it's going to be for everything she opens up in Sora on her computer or on her tablet. It doesn't matter where she's opening it up. Now, the other option is maybe she just wants to see what it's like. You can actually go into the book you've borrowed. Okay, it's under your loans, and just turn it on for that setting. So when you actually go into the magazine or you go into the ebook, you can turn it on by book. So it doesn't necessarily have to be every book. unless you put it under your general settings. Then it's on every book you open. And that is a huge game changer for a lot of our students, because I know a lot of them have gotten used to reading online, but some of them don't find it pleasurable. So these are some good settings for them to just know that there are ways that they can customize it for themselves. All right. And then this one is the high contrast mode. So you can tell I actually turned it on in this screenshot because I actually made it with a darker background. This is going to be across the board on any book I have. Doesn't matter if I'm checking out from Pearland, which is my school district, or if I'm checking it out from somewhere else. It carries because it's my account. So if I change it, it's my account at this level. If I don't, I can actually go into the book itself and change it under the book. Okay, so you can see right here, if you go under, this is when I need a touch screen. So if she goes to the hamburger, I'm calling it a hamburger. It may not be the term for it. This is her account settings for everything. And look, she's tied to a lot of libraries. Okay. But down here under the settings, if you scroll up a little bit, you can see the move up. You can see the dyslexic font, high contrast mode, language. Okay. Those are your settings that you can adjust things on. But if I go to where I have my book, so if I go down here to my shelf, okay, so this is my shelf. So if I'm inside of a book, okay, this is what it's going to look like. Now there's no settings on here, but if I can go up here, you notice on the A, if I click on the A, I will get my same settings for adjusting the brightness. Now this one, obviously, probably because it's a kid's picture book, it doesn't have like the text scale, but you can actually change the text scale, and actually you can enable an accessibility text scale. So it actually will do it even larger. I don't know if y'all have any reading impaired students, but the largest font is not necessarily large enough for them. So this actually allows you to do everything when you have it another one. So if you change the different lighting, it'll change the way the book looks. I'm not sure if it's going to work on a picture book because it's already dark. Okay, but y'all get the idea. So that's kind of one of the settings. Obviously, it's got magnifying. A lot of these are similar to what you're going to see in most tools. This one, I think looks like a baseball, but it actually is to adjust how the page layout is. So if you're teaching, obviously you would want it to be full screen. And you can zoom in. This is if you want to like highlight something. So if you're teaching with it, it's a great tool because you actually can highlight in different colors. You can make a little note. There's a timer on it. Turn your mic on, lady. You just gonna talk over me. I'm just kidding.
Well, no,
she always complains about me. Oh, okay.
She's not talking.
So every book is going to have its own type of features depending on what was worked out between the publisher and offered within Sora. So picture books is not usually what I deal with. I usually deal with, adult, larger high school books, but you do have the same features. And I was actually surprised. A lot of our younger students are getting more and more comfortable looking at this because they all have iPads or tablets. And so don't discredit the fact that you can have ebooks, because I know a lot of librarians prefer a book. How many of you prefer a book? Okay. But how many of you have gotten used to kind of reading on your phone or, something that you get accessible? So it's just a matter of choice, but allowing them to know that they have the ability to customize everything that they are putting in front of them and they can read easier is actually a really great thing for them to have in Sora. So if you do have it in your district and you really haven't explored what it is, I encourage you to look at what titles they have and what's offered. And if you don't see something that as a teacher you would want, talk to your librarian, because more than likely someone in the district, if not her, is buying these particular titles. And it might be that, Diary of a Wimpy Kid or one of those ones that are really, really popular. Well, she may only have 3 on the shelf. Well, she might be able to buy 3 digital. And then the kids that have a hard time that need those accessibility tools, now they have all that. Again, we try to encourage people to partner up with their other public library. I think we do it. Don't we do a card every year? Like Public Library Week sign up. September is like Public Library Card Week or something. We sign up for all the kids to have access to all the books they can. So do you have any questions? Was there another slide that I missed? Kind of went off script. Oh, screen readers. Oh, that is a good one. So there are some screen readers for your students that have that extra accessibility that'll actually read to them. These are the ones that Sora has verified that they know they work. Obviously, sometimes you can be in different browsers and it'll have a read aloud feature. Again, if it's not one that's verified, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's going to work, but it does have that option. And some of them are an extra thing that you'll have to put into the device itself, but a lot of them are going to work well for your students too. So again, you can buy an ebook or an audiobook, but some students prefer to have the listening and the visual too. So is that it? Oh, there it is. There's our social media stuff. If you want to follow anything, ask her a bunch of questions because she knows more than I do.